Hello, Sudoku friends, and welcome to New York Times Hard Sudoku Puzzle. Today is January 19, 2023. I was up early. I was at the winter market at shortly before 6 in the morning. That's where I go for vegetables and meat, chicken, fish. There are some Western style supermarkets in this town, but they're far away, and the closest ones are mere convenience stores, and their selection of vegetables and fresh meat and fish is just meager. So, as much as I abhor the hygiene standards or the lack thereof of the wet markets, that's where I kind of have to go if I want fresh food. So, I finished cutting up and putting in the freezer about 3 kilos of combined pork and beef. And I should not go hungry during the New Year's festivals. That's going to start the day after tomorrow on Saturday, from which day we will be in the year of the cat or the rabbit, depending on which circle of animals you subscribe to. And everyone will go Chúc mừng năm mới, Happy New Year. And so will I, because that's what they do here. It's really a big thing, the Tet festival. But we should probably get started on this puzzle, shouldn't we? There's an 8 bearing down here, and there's an 8 going over here, and there's an 8 going over here. So we found an 8. And we found more than an 8. We found a 1 8 and a 1 8, and that puts a 1 8 up here, doesn't it? And we found a 2 5 here, and they can't go here. Therefore, these two guys must be a 2 and a 5. And therefore, these must be a 6 and a 9, I believe, yes. And therefore, one of these must be a 4 because this cell is taken by this 4, or it's blocked by this 4, I should say. Okay, there's a 3 coming up here. There's a 3 coming over here, and there's a 3 coming over here. That makes this a 3. Anything else that we can spot that is quick? Well, actually, there's a 1, 5, 6, and an 8 missing from column 9, and there's a 1, 5, 8 blocking this square here. So this must be a 6. And this is now a 1, 5, 8 and 1, 5, 8. And by the way, this cannot be a 5 because of the 5 over here in the first column. And we have juxtaposition of 3s and 5s, I believe. The 5 here blocks these cells, and the 5 here blocks these cells. Therefore, one of these must be a 5. And the same happens to be true, I believe, for the 3. Yes, the 3 comes down here, and the 3 comes over here. So these two guys have to be a 3 and a 5. Let's see how interesting that is or not. Well, it tells me that an 8 will have to go up here or here, and therefore here or here, right? And a 2, can't say anything about the 2, except it can't go here, and it can't go here, but that's not quite enough. I can say that one of these will be a 1, and one of these will be a 1, because this 1 blocks these 3 squares, and the 1 here comes down and blocks these 3. We should start with the singles, I think, because they are low-hanging fruit. 4 here and 4 here and 4 here puts a 4 here. And now the 4 here blocks over here, and the 4 blocks here, and this 4 blocks here. So this is a 4. Nice. And one of these is a 4, but we knew that, didn't we? And since we know that this cell must be these two cells must be a 1, 8. I'm trying to figure out a place for an 8 in row 3. It can't go here. It cannot go here either. It could go here, or it could go here. So that's not of much use. I should think about something else. Well, this is a 7 or a 9 because this is 1, 8. We still need to find a 7, 9 and a 5 and a 6. So together these two cells are 2, 5, 1 and an 8. The only one missing is a 9, and that cannot go here. It cannot go here. It has to go in one of these cells here, yes. Of course, with a 6. So that means that one of these is a 6. I'm looking at this row. 1, 3, 5, 6, 9 still to be found. There's a 1, 3, and a 5. So this is a 6 or a 9. There's a 1, 3 here. So this is a 5, 6 or a 9. And this cannot be a 9, 3 or a 5. So it's got to be a 1 or a 6. But before I start thinking too deeply about very complicated matters, why don't I just put a 4 here? Because all the other cells are blocked by this 4 and by this 4. And now this cell must be a 4 because we remember that these two are 3 and 5. That's the reason this must be a 4. All other cells are blocked by these two 4s here. And that gives me a 4 here, doesn't it? Because of the 4 here, here, and the 4 in the top row. And frankly, with this 4, we took away a possible square for an 8. An 8 can't go here. And these two are 6 and 9, so therefore this must be an 8. And that's nice, because now the 6 and the 7 here must go up here. And these are now 2 and 9. And if these are 2s and 9s, then this cannot be a 2, 5, can it? It must be a 5, and this must be a 2. And a 5 will have now, because of these two 5s, to go in one of these 3 cells. And we can figure out which one, I think. Yes, because this cell here cannot be a 5 due to the 5 here, nor can this due to the 5 here. So this must be a 5. And these two now have to be a 1, 8 pair. And this is a 1, 8, this is a 1, 8, and this is a 1, 8 as well. And I think we can place an 8 here now. Let me just double check. This 8 blocks these cells, and this one is a 3 or a 5. Therefore, an 8 must go here or here. And we also have this 8 down here and these two 8s. So yes, this is an 8. And because this can't be a 2, remember our old friends, the 3, 5 pair? We have got a 2 here. One of these must be a 2. And that puts a 2 either here or here. And we also know that an 8 will have to go in one of these 3 cells. But I don't seem to be able to close in on what the third digit might be. But this cell must be a 5. And it must be a 5 because this 5 blocks these cells. And the 5 here blocks across. So this is a 5. And now we can finally resolve the 3 and the 5 pair we had here. Yes, and the 3 here and here and here now puts a 3 here. So along with the 1, we now have a 3 that will occupy 2 of these 3 cells here. This can't be a 1 because of this one. This can't be a 1 because of this one and this one. Therefore, this must be a 1. Now we have a 1, 8 blocking up here. So we have a 1, 8 here, 1, 8 here, 1, 8 here, and 1, 8 here. I'm leaving a 7 and a 9 for these 2 cells. But before we get to that, there's a matter of this one, and this one, and this final one for this row. Now, one of these will have to be a 9. And remember how we had a 2, 9 up here? This is now a 2, and this is a 9. And one of these will have to be a 9 eventually. Why is this a 9 or this a 9? Because we have a 9 blocking over here. And by the way, these 3 empty cells need to be a 7 and a 6 and a 2. Let's see. Well, one of these will have to be a 2, yes. So this is a 6, 7, and well, because now I have 3 cells here, of course, and they have to be a 2, 6, and an 8. There is a 6 here and a 2 here, making this an 8. And that makes this a 1, and this an 8, and this an 8, and this a 1, as per previous analysis. And these being a 6, 7 makes this a 9, and this a 7. These two must be a 2 and a 6, right? So the 6 here blocks this. So this is a 2 and this is a 6. And now this is a 2. These two leftovers are going to be a 7 and a 9. Still can't resolve those. But we found a 2 here. Does that give me anything? 2 comes down here too. Yes. These 2's block down here. So this is a 2. And that makes this a 2. And we know that one of these was a 2, right? Therefore, this is now a 2. And this is a 6, 7 and a 6, 7 still. They are very elusive. And what is happening with these 3 guys here? A 1, 7 and a 9. 7s again. Ah, yes, but we can find a 7 because a 7 blocks down here, and therefore one of these must be a 7, and therefore this cannot be a 7. This cannot be a 7 because of this. Therefore, this is a 7, and now this one is a 6. And that resolves the 6 and the 7 we had up here. So this must now be a 7 and this a 9, making this a 9, and this must be a 6, making this a 6 and this a 9, because we already analyzed that to death. A 6 and a 7 for these two, easy. We have a 6 in the row, 7 here and 6 here. We got a 6 coming down here and here, blocking these 4 cells. We got the 6 coming over, blocking these cells, making this 6. This last digit has got to be a 5, making this a 5. And now we are looking at a 9 and a 3 for these. Really, 3 comes over here. So this is a 3, and therefore this is a 3, and this is a 9. And that makes this a 9 and this as well. This cannot be a 1, therefore the 1 must go here, and the 7 here and here. And the last digit in the puzzle is going to go here. It is a 1. It looked easy when I started, and then I think I got distracted by something. Probably the thought of all the food in my freezer. In any event, I hope that you enjoyed watching it and that you will come back for more soon. Goodbye for now, and thank you for watching.